Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology. This one is for February 7th, 2022. Thank you for joining me. My name is Suzanne Wagner. You can find me at suzannewagner.com. I have an online scheduler there, and there's a lot of stuff on my website that you might find of great interest. The number 6 is what happens when we add all the numbers together. 2, 7, 22. You end up with the number 15, and if you add the 1 and the 5 together, you get the number 6. The number 6 is associated with Mercury, so it asks us to use our mercurial intelligence to adapt to this ever-changing world of technology. Communications are shifting in so many ways, but that can be challenging for some age groups, especially those not born in the technology age. The complexity of the human expression is morphing into a very new thing, and while some of it is necessary and good, other aspects, if not careful, can bring us into a shallower existence. Today, I'm using this number to try and open myself to more refined and artistic expression through words. I try to use my daily blogs and videos to expand communications in heartfelt ways that allow for the exchange of ideas that give hope and lift us all out of the intense sense of isolation that so many feel. Perhaps it is time to go visit someone and sit on the porch and just be engaged in neighborly forms of interaction. This is a multitasking number, and while we are all working towards a better reality in any way we can, it is also good to be more curious. That is a great way to channel this restless feeling. I'm going to go for a brisk walk and get my energy going and to de-stress from my normal daily routines. I like to listen to This American Life on podcasts as I am walking. It is interesting and something that helps me know that I'm not alone out there in this world. Find what works for you and do those things that support your expressive self and help break up the routines. The astrology today. With mild-mannered Clark Kent as the Taurus moon, there is a desire to be incognito and to feel safer while we sit back and observe what is happening. It can feel more secure when we are watching rather than in the middle of situations. Besides, we can learn a lot when we can objectively look at things without trying to come to any conclusion. Watching allows for a slower pace, something that is right up a Taurus moon's alley. Feelings are less urgent and allow us to sit quietly within rather than squirm around like a rat trapped in a cage. Take the best of what is offered, leave the rest. Use what is going to make a difference or improve a situation. The Taurus moon will trine both Venus and Mars and then later will align with Uranus. Money seems to matter, and there is a sense of possessions being important to our well-being. What we value externally seems to define us more today. There are things that we want to do, and even though it is not just going to be about the weekend, there is a feeling needing to do something outside. Just remember, it is very cold in some places, so dress appropriately. My quote for today. What we have in common is that we all have come from the same seed, one that is ancient, vibrant, and willing to succeed. If we cannot change our minds, then we cannot change anything at all. I don't understand all this fighting and those that need to brawl. Everyone is hurting and there is no end in sight. That is why this insanity needs to stop, and with it, all those that need to fight. We will tear this world apart and with it ourselves until all that remains will be old books on the shelves. And my blog for today. There are places and moments when we look back nostalgically at a life that seems lost. There comes the awareness that the behaviors and patterns of some have come at quite a cost. We look towards a future that is unfamiliar to us all. We cannot go back to warn ourselves about the coming fall. What would we even say to our former self back then? Would they even listen or think we were a tragedian? It seems clear to me that while we can dream, that we could have turned the tide. The truth is that resisting any change is what has allowed so many to slowly die. When a great wave comes in, and no matter how slow, we are asked to wake up, move, and then go. But those that think that they can stop time or resist what arises in those waves see change as so frightening that they would rather lie in graves. lives. While we continue to exist in this time and place, I know that change is what allows us to find grace, but egos would rather be right and spread a lie, and that is why their hosts will become weaker and eventually die. While all of us will leave this planet and eventually move on, we hope to be able to thrive and flourish before we are gone. In this time where we are being constricted and constrained, there is a moment we are to learn what can be retained and sustained. This world needs our help and our attention to survive. We can make a reality where all life can actually thrive. But it takes all of us, not just a few, and together we can make things more beautiful to view. Thanks, everyone.